I'll call to order the meeting for Monday, December 14th, 2020. Let's go ahead and start with a invocation and just a moment of silence. And during our moment of silence, if you would just remember all of our fellow croutons who we've lost this year, and also Charles Luck Jr., who I believe passed away a couple weeks ago. Lost him. Okay. Thank you. And if everyone would stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay. Next. Sir?
Let's go.
Okay, perfect. Next up on the agenda, approval of minutes and agenda. Does anyone have anything to add or change on the agenda? Anyone have anything to add or change? Anyone have anything to add or change? Hearing none. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes and agenda.
So moved.
Yates and second by Davis. All in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Public comment. Do we have anyone with public comment tonight?
Yes, you do.
Nope. If you'd please just approach the podium, and if you would just give us your name and your address.
Tommy Morris, 1305 West Carolina Avenue. Crewe. How are y'all? Greetings to all the council members. The last time I was here, and I guess maybe you should be ashamed that I haven't been here since then, but was when I was asking this body to look at a memorial for our veterans here in town. When I was commander of the American Legion post here. I hope I have the same luck and approval for this. I'm asking that we reinstate the ability to raise up to 4 chickens once again in Crewe. Only chickens, not bees, not ducks, not exotic birds. Just a handful of chickens so that we can enjoy breakfast of our own eggs. Also, I know there should be limits on these chickens, and also proximity to other houses, and also be kept in a coop. So please take this under consideration. Thank you all, and Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas. Any other public comment tonight? Once, going twice, sold. Okay. Review of bills. Any member of council have any questions about any of the bills on the bill sheet?
Just one, Mr. Mayor.
Go ahead.
It really is just more of an explanation. $30,000 for an audit. Right? So first, workers' comp liability audit for $30,029,962.
That's our quarterly Versa
So it's
insurance payment.
it's payment, okay. You just said audit, so I was
The
like,
actual audit part was right at 5,000.
perfect, thank you.
Yeah, those auditors get paid a lot.
Oh, that's, would be quite a bit.
Okay. Hearing no other comments, questions, concerns about the bill sheet, we'll move on to town manager's report. Ryan.
Yes, Honorable Mayor and Council, I did include my report in the packet. I just did want to let y'all know about, I put a copy at your seat. We're starting a new initiative. It's basically just an enhancement of what we've kind of already been doing, but it's called the Neighborhood Enhancement Action Team, NEAT. Get it?
Yes.
Love it. The goal of the NEAT is to improve the aesthetics in our town, through conducting periodic neighborhood cleanups, addressing issues within our control, and continue to enforce the property maintenance codes. We're going to be doing 4 cleanups a year. The first one, weather permitting, will be January 16th of 2021. We'll meet at Town Hall that morning at 9. And if you could we're trying to get residents and civic groups, churches involved as much as possible. So try to get the word out. We'll be putting it on Facebook. So we're trying to do our part to try to clean up the town. We'll be encouraging residents to put out stuff just like they normally do during the spring and fall cleanups. And we'll run street by street to clean up the town and enforce some codes. So anyway, just wanted to let y'all know about that, and hopefully our town will be looking even better next year.
Love it.
Perfect.
So do we show up with trash bags and gloves?
So,
like we used to
yeah,
do?
Public Works, they're gonna hopefully provide all the trash bags, the grabbers, the vest, all that good stuff like that, and they'll be assisting with the effort, and we just need as many bodies as possible to do this as quickly as possible.
I've actually got a question on that because a parent, a friend of mine, has some kids, high school age, that she's looking for them to get into some community service. So would this be something that they would be invited to participate in as well?
Yeah, I mean, anybody can participate. You know, if they're under 18, we encourage their
Parents to be there.
if possible, but yeah.
Gotcha.
Excellent.
Great.
Anything else, Brian?
That's it.
Okay, any other questions for Brian? Moving on. Mayor's report. I have nothing, except I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Does anyone have any comments, questions, concerns for the mayor? Hearing none. Town attorney's report.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for these wonderful cookies. They're delicious. I had distributed my memo. There's a lot going on. I've been working a lot with Brian on a lot of issues around Crewe. Most importantly, we do have the finale of the Lipscomb Stratton projects coming up in court on January 11th. So I'll be sending out, notices to the landowners about that. We have gotten one more settled, so that's great news too. I do have a few things I want to address with you all in closed session tonight when it's time, and so we'll talk about that there.
Excellent. Any questions for the town attorney? Hearing none. Moving on. New business. Item 9A, Commonwealth Regional Council Hazard Mitigation Plan Amendment. Request to approve. Brian.
Yes, Honorable Mayor and Council, as you know, we did submit a grant application to VDM, the Virginia Department of Emergency Management, under the Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities program to try to get grant funding for generators at Town Hall and the Public Works Building. I was informed that in order to be eligible to receive the grant, if we are funded, we have to amend the CRC Regional Hazard Mitigation Plan. You do see that attached, and it just lists the generators as a high priority item due to the number of natural hazards we have in the area, and I do ask that you approve that.
Any comments, questions, concerns for Brian on that? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the attached amendment to the CRC Regional Hazard Mitigation Plan.
I move to approve.
Motion by Councilman Stinson,
I'm second.
second by Councilman Yates. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? All opposed? Ayes have it. Okay. Item 9B, wastewater treatment plant projects request to approve. Brian.
Yes, Honorable Mayor and Council, this goes back to the meeting last month with our oxidation ditch bond financing. If you remember from that meeting, you did approve the financing for that project, and we also included up to $500,000 in the bond resolution for that project that could be used for other projects at the wastewater plant. So the estimated cost for the oxidation ditch project, if you remember, was around $300,000. We do have $200,000 remaining. So after that meeting, I did ask John Rico, who is here, is our Public Utilities Director, to put together a list of projects that we would be coming to you in the near future over the next 1, 2, 3 years to look at funding. And since we do have this financing already in place, now would be a good time to go ahead and wrap those improvements while we have already done the financing within the debt structure to move forward on those projects. And he did, John put together a good list of projects for you. They're pretty self-explanatory, but John is here if you do have any questions, technical questions, stuff I can't answer about the purpose of the equipment, what it's used for, and that kind of thing. So what I am asking, if you are in agreement to go ahead and approve those projects, and we'll move forward with those.
Okay, thank you, Brian. John, anything to add?
No, I think the list is, as Brian said, pretty self-explanatory. Although it's referred to as the new wastewater treatment plant, we're looking at 25 years, and all of those projects are original equipment, so.
Didn't we tie the communities or repairs into this somehow?
And then that's a separate, that was for about 118,000, so that is separate. That's
Purchase plus repairs, correct?
yes, so, yeah,
So we did the 500 on this.
that's correct.
and
Those are two separate, all
I
under
just
one
wanted to
file.
make sure that one wasn't canceling out.
No, that's right.
John, you anticipate a good return on investment, because if we file this new stuff, it'll basically make the plant more efficient, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And again, the improvements would be to original equipment that's 25 years old now, so if you can get another 25 years out of the new projects, it'd be money very well spent.
Excellent. Any other questions for John? Okay, what is the pleasure of council tonight?
Let's go ahead and make a motion to approve it.
Motion by Vice Mayor Bowen to approve this list of projects. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Stinson. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of approving the purchase of the equipment outlined in the attached list on 9B?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Okay. Item 9C, Gatewood Avenue Streetlight Project, request to approve. Brian?
Yes, Honorable Mayor and Council, at a previous meeting, if you remember, this was about 2 or 3 months ago, we've been waiting a while to get a proposal back from Dominion on this project. They did finally send us something, and I do have 2 options, not to belabor this anymore, but previously approved up to, I believe, a $10,000 limit on the project. We did get 2 estimates, and I think this is pretty self-explanatory, but option 1, they've laid out 2 street lights on your attached map. Those would be at locations 2 and 3 on your map highlighted. And that estimate's $9,700. If you want 3 stoplights, 3 street lights, the estimate for that is $13,000, and that would be at locations 1, 2, and 3. So since that, one option goes over your limit, I wanted clear direction on how y'all wanted to handle this project.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to, I think I was the one that proposed the motion, hard to remember, but back then, for 10,000, but my reasoning then was because we didn't have any clear numbers. It was, so I'd like to suggest that we go ahead, now that we see 13,000 for 3 lights, that's not prohibitive, that it would be my suggestion that we go ahead with option 2.
I would agree with Ann in that lights help deter crime and all sorts of things, and while we're working on that project, it just makes sense to add the 3rd light and do that both off. I think that's an outstanding idea.
Hey, Councilman Reed, I believe you originally brought this issue to council's attention. What is your thought?
I like option one. I mean, if we want option two, that's fine, more likely better, but to me, I feel like the intersection right there is already pretty well lit, so to put a street light there, I mean, that, I mean, more light doesn't hurt, so I'm not opposed to option two, but initially I was thinking option one. Really, we just asked for one street light, and that would be a lot less, but, we never got a price on that, I don't think.
Yeah, that was the confusion then. you know.
That was originally told that it would be $16,000 for one streetlight.
Now we're looking at 2 and 3, and we never got a price for one, I was kinda like, okay. I mean, I think 2 and 3 for less than 10,000 is good, but, yeah, I don't, personally, I think it's already kinda lit up at that intersection. So
Cause
I
that,
wouldn't have said, man, I need a street light there.
number one is right on Tyler Road,
Yeah.
I believe.
Councilman Davis, you had
What's the red circle at the end of the block?
There's a light there, I'm assuming that's what, there is a dull street
I
light
believe
right
there's a
there.
street light there too, and there, it's a question of, they can run the lines from either way. So that's a technicality.
No, I was with Aaron bringing this to council because somebody that lived there was adamant that it needed to be done and was a victim of people being there. I don't have a preference, I don't live there, so, if Aaron thinks that 2 would be good enough, I'm okay with that. If we as council
Well, I
think we need
respect
3,
Aaron's opinion. Before I was just concerned about the vagueness of the price.
so I don't care, I mean, my vote will go with whatever the majority goes with. I mean, whatever we think is best in the room.
My vote would be, again, to go with 3, simply because it creates another avenue of safety.
okay.
There are areas where
Okay, so let's just take a quick straw poll so we know which way someone can make a motion. Option 1 or option 2, just a quick raise of your hand if you're in favor of option 1. And option 2. Okay, is there so I'll entertain a motion for preferably option 1.
I move that we move forward with option 1.
Okay,
I'll
motion
second
by
that.
Councilman Reed,
Whoever.
Bowen, seconded. Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor? And all opposed? Okay, motion carries on a vote of 5 to 1. Next up on the agenda, item 9D, holiday bonuses for town employees. Request to approve. Merry Christmas.
Yes, Honorable Mayor and Council, I apologize for this. When I put the proposed budget together, I did not know the town previously had given bonuses, so I thought I was proposing a new thing, which obviously I'm not. So I had originally put a $100 employee bonus in the budget. If you see the attachment here in the side, right-hand side, includes a $100 per employee holiday bonus under employee appreciation and events. But was just recently informed that y'all have been given $150 bonuses, so I'm asking that y'all do approve 150 instead of 100 in the budget. You got enough money in the budget for that. So I just want to make sure everybody was clear and okay with that.
Okay, any other questions, Brian? Nope. Motion by Councilman Davis
Second?
and second by Stinson. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? All opposed? Okay,
So
motion
doesn't
carries.
this mean that we don't have to do that every year, right? Isn't that what this is for, or do we still have to vote on it?
Generally, I guess the issue that Brian ran into is in the budget, he allocated a certain amount for employee bonuses.
So we had to take the vote
Exactly.
to go off the budget.
Yeah, I wasn't aware
I got
that
you.
y'all had previously passed the ordinance years ago to cover this, but the money still needs to be put in the budget at a time. So I normally always put it as a separate line item.
Right, so it wasn't really approving the bonuses, it was approving the reallocation of funds.
I guess, yeah, I got you.
Beautiful. Item 9E, 122 South Tyler Avenue, request to declare a dangerous building and authorize removal. Brian?
Yes, Honorable Mayor and Council, you do see the attached memo from Dean Lewis, who is our building official with Nottaway County. And again, going back to this memo, he does consider the building at 122 South Tyler Avenue, parcel number 18, A29-361-A2, a dangerous structure as described in town code. I have attached the memo that he did include with that, along with several other properties he considers dangerous structures. I also did include our ordinance on that, and most importantly, I took some pictures myself of the building last, end of October. And that building, as you can see, looks like it's in pretty awful condition. It needs to be torn down. And you do have the authority as town council to require property owners to remove, repair, and secure any building, wall, or structure which might endanger the public health, safety, or health. As such, any building, wall, or structure will be considered a dangerous building per town code. And I am, because you have to do it as a body, recommend you declare 122 South Tyler Avenue a dangerous building and authorize removal of that building.
Hey, do we know the history of the building?
I don't know any history of the building.
Ray might know the history of the building.
We're doing a title search now because the county's property card does not have any information on it. And we're awaiting the,
That's what I was noticing, there's no name on the tax card.
so yeah, that's from
Why had
the,
the county deal with it?
that's the Nottaway County GIS system and their assessment records. So right now, we're getting a title search done on the property and waiting for that to come back to us.
When,
By Exxon.
what I was told was that the railroad owned the property and some other gentleman owned the building.
Oh, Clay's Farm Supply.
Yeah,
Old Clay's
Clay's
Farm.
Farm Supply. That's the
Okay.
old building.
Yeah, it was,
Oh, very good.
100 years ago.
Yeah.
What was it before, was it anything before that, Ray?
Well, the hardware store and feeding grain and,
For your entire memory?
huh?
For your entire memory?
Yeah.
well, what, I mean,
Okay.
do we know who owns, do you know who owns it now?
Do you know who owned the building?
Or who owns it?
T.C. Elliott was the owner. He bought it from Charles Clay, and T.C. owned it after that, and then they closed it up. Who owns it now, I have no idea.
I guess that's absolutely. So I guess the concern is, if we declare it dangerous, the owner has to take care of it. We don't know who the owner is.
Then we have to take care of it.
Then we have to take care of it.
So yeah, like I said, we're getting a title search done, and we wouldn't start the process till we knew who officially was the, but in order to start the process, I need y'all to declare it a dangerous structure.
Okay. Okay, any other questions of the town manager?
Yeah, Brian and I briefly spoken about this. I'm not for tearing it down. I know it looks really bad, and I know that a million cats live there, and I know all that. But if you'll recollect, the building that sat next to Shaba, the one that was predominantly, that one, was it was just as bad. And I took the time to speak to the owner of that building, who did make the proper repair. He put $40,000 into the roof and fixed the windows and was able to secure it and make it look decent. And I think to tear down another old historical building in Crewe is, to me, awful. I think at all, well, I don't want to say at all costs, but for just shy of that, I think that we should look at trying to salvage these old buildings and not tear them down. With that being said, I would be willing to take this to the Wash Bucket Initiative and see if there's any way we can combine our efforts, maybe with Peggy Fagler and all of her knowledge, and see if there's anything we could do to try to remedy that building so we don't have to tear it down. So that's just,
Okay.
I am not for tearing it down, at least not immediately, till we do more research on.
If I'm not mistaken, Brian, declaring it dangerous doesn't mean that we're going to tear it down. It just means that the town then has the authority to take action, whether it's.
Well, no, sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, not only if we declare it a dangerous building, do we have the authority to do something about it, but then we have the responsibility to do something about it, right? So if we make it a dangerous building and then the owner doesn't fix it, we have to do something about it, whether we fix it or tear it down. If we declare it dangerous, now we're responsible for it, right?
I don't think you're responsible for it, but I mean, at least you've shown you're aware that you do consider it dangerous. Now, whether
Very
you're
well.
ultimately liable, it's on private property. This is not a situation where it's in the public
On the
right
sidewalk.
away,
Okay.
on the sidewalk. This is
So it's a
on-
little different than, yeah, I see what you're saying. So we wouldn't be, obligated to fix it.
We're not obligated, but, I would say as bad as the building is, and this is one of the buildings that's in the original memo that we've been going off of, it would behoove us to try to take some forward action on this building. There's nothing saying we have to do anything. If they, when the title search comes back and we send them a letter, you know, they may decide to do something. They may not. But this would just give us the authority to, you declare it a dangerous building, give staff the authority to move forward with demolishing it if the owner does not take timely action.
I've got a question on this. With this building, is this one that the town would be able to demolish?
I've talked to Tony about that, and he says that he feels they can themselves. We will still need to do an asbestos study that's required by law,
Yeah.
removal, and that may take some extra money outside of our forces to do that. But Tony says he believes that Public Works can tear this down ourselves. And now the complicated part, it looks like it is somewhat connected to the Exxon.
I don't think it's actually connected.
Well,
I think it's
real close to it.
It backs up to it, yeah.
Anyway, so, you know, we
You
may
have to make sure
need
it
some
went that way
assistance
when it
there.
tore down.
And we may need some assistance, but remember, y'all approved $20,000 in the budget as a line item under derelict structures or whatever you want to call it that hadn't been touched yet.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we declare it a dangerous building.
Okay, motion
I'll
by
second
Councilman
that.
Reed, second by Vice Mayor Bowen. Any discussion?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
If we go, if we go ahead and declare it, I mean, I understand it is dangerous and it's really awful looking, but then that starts the clock. And it would be my wish that we not start that clock just yet until there can be a little bit more research to see what can be done to look at keeping that building, even if we hold it off a month or two.
We've gotta do this to start the process, so.
Well, I understand that, but then once we start the process, then, you know, we need to be able to abide by the same rules for everybody. You know, we can't start it on one and not, you know, so I would rather not move forward with it initially, just to give us a little bit of time. Give me a little bit of time, and I think I'm just, you know, I hate to see all these old buildings go, and I know we have $20,000 in the budget, but I can think of a lot of other buildings in this town that need tearing down that don't necessarily sit on, right there on the main drag, and are so old. You know, I don't know, I'm not for doing that right now, not saying not a month or maybe 2 months down the line, just not right now.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Was that building listed on any of the historical possibilities within? I don't remember it.
I'm not aware of it.
I would bet it is, and I would be more than willing to call Peggy Figel right away and see if it is. But, you know, there's money out there for historical buildings, being that we have a nonprofit, we could qualify for some of that. I just think it's something that would be good to look into and take a little bit of extra time, just move a little bit
But
slower.
if we declare it, there's nothing to stop us from then accepting a plan from a group like the Watch Club.
Correct.
Is there anything that's gonna get done between now and next month's meeting? I mean, realistically, we know y'all work the whole week.
I mean, probably, it's not gonna get torn down in the next month. I mean,
Maybe.
we're still waiting to get the
We
title
don't know who
search
the
back.
owner is.
We don't know
We gotta
who the
find
owner
out who
is.
the owner is.
So,
So at this point, I just need to know whether y'all philosophically agree with moving forward on this.
philosophically, I agree with you, but as a courtesy to Sue, if we're really not gonna take any action between now and next month's meeting, that would give her 30 days from today to find out whether there's anything she can or can't do or whatever, and then we can go from there. I'd be willing to do that as a courtesy to her.
I
Okay.
appreciate that.
Anyone else? Okay, there is a motion and a second on the floor to go ahead and declare this a dangerous building. So, all in favor?
I
That's 3, and all opposed.
Me.
Tie vote, the mayor votes in opposition. So, motion fails. But if we can put it back on for continuing business for the next meeting, Brian.
So just so I'm clear, I'll put that,
We tried.
list that on unfinished business next month, okay, all right?
It's Christmas.
You'll
Yeah,
have the
we'll
Christmas
still
spirit.
wait noter.
We'll take action next month.
And that also gives us time to contact the owner and say, hey, this is your building, what do you want to do with it?
Can we do title search without,
Apparently nothing.
with this? Okay.
Okay,
In addition, I don't know, in addition to that, I'm talking to Brian, what is the organization the county joined that we can take part of? What's the name of it?
Commonwealth Regional Council.
Yeah, the Commonwealth Regional Council. Apparently by a virtue of the fact that the Nottaway County joined it and then Wash Bucket is located within Nottaway County, apparently we are able to utilize their services too. And that was very exciting.
Brian sits on that, goes to those meetings.
Yeah, I think those meetings, yes, sir.
So, okay, unfinished business, item 10A, 100 West Carolina Avenue, request to declare a dangerous building and authorize repairs. Brian?
I'm not recommending any action at this time.
Okay, no action recommended by the town manager at this time. Any comments, questions, concerns? Any action by council? Hearing none, moving on. Public comment. Anyone have any public comment?
On what?
Sir?
He said on what?
Oh, okay, on anything. It's your chance to address council.
Yeah, you want to say anything?
The last time you had this opportunity this year. It's 2020, it's been a heck of a year.
Yes.
Any frustration you want to get out there?
I don't think Trump's gonna win this thing.
Okay, last call for public comment,
Pretty sure about that.
hearing none. Is there any points of personal privilege by council? Anything council wants to say?
Just have a little tidbit. I've been working with the library director, Jackie, on a project for our Youth of Crewe. It's a Christmas project. We're doing little bags with a bell, a craft, a little piece of candy. They'll be available for pickup the week of Christmas at Crewe Primary. I am looking for volunteers to help stuff bags. And then there's going to be a little, the idea is that the kids of Crewe will go outside all at the same time, maybe like 6:30 on Christmas Eve, and ring their bells to guide Santa on his journey. So, yes, if anybody would like to, all of our materials should be in the weekend of the 18th. So, and then we'll start pick up that following week. So if anybody wants to be a volunteer and help stuff bags, that'd be really awesome.
Where are you gonna do that, Jen?
I'm not sure if we're gonna do like in a place or just send materials with people. I don't, it depends on what everybody's comfortable with and all of that. But it's about 400. We're gonna need, it's just under 400 bags, so it's just a little much for 2 people.
Just
I
let
do-
us know when and where.
Yeah, I'll be glad to take some one.
I really don't have an extra moment of time. However, I believe that the Wash Bucket may have little craft packages that we ordered a long time ago that we used. And I'm sure we would be more than willing to donate them to your bags. Because
Okay,
they're actual
well-
little craft projects where the kids can make an ornament. Remember when we had that Christmas thing that year?
But do you have 400 of them?
I may have 400.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what I mean, I would be interested in that. Jackie put together some kind of STEM craft, but
These are little packets, little packages or little crafts we ordered from who knows where, but they're individually packaged and they're nice little.
okay, I'll follow up with you on that.
Okay.
Thank
I'll
you.
look up in the.
Perfect. Anything else you guys get together afterwards and we'll,
Would this be the right time to bring up the chickens?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, forget it. Bring it up later.
Personal privilege.
Yeah, we didn't add it to the
Agenda.
agenda, but
That's fine.
if there is anything that anyone, that a member of the public brings up and a council member wants to get involved with, you can, for, say, the next meeting, or you can bring it up then and ask Brian to add it to the agenda. Or if it's done before a meeting
I
and
got you.
someone comes up to you.
Okay, sorry.
Perfect. Anything else? Okay, hearing none, we will go into closed session pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A1, personnel regarding the discussion of a prospective candidate for the position of police chief. And A8, consultation with legal counsel regarding specific legal matters requiring the provision of legal advice pertaining to the property maintenance at 100 West Carolina Avenue, the Lipscomb Stratton Street project, and the 315 East Maryland Avenue property improvement agreement. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Davis, second by Yates. All in favor? We are in closed session. Okay, we are out of closed session. At this point, I will need a motion, or I will need to certify that all we talked about in closed session was pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A1, personnel matter regarding the discussion of prospective candidate for the position of police chief, and A8, consultation with legal counsel regarding specific legal matters pertaining to the provision of legal advice pertaining to property maintenance issues at 100 West Carolina Avenue, the Lipscomb Stratton Street project, and the 315 East Maryland Avenue property improvement agreement.
Certified.
Councilman Davis.
Certified.
Certified.
Stinson. Yates.
Certified.
Bowen. Reed. Okay, at this point, I will entertain a motion to request and authorize amending the agreement with JG Development to allow obtaining a certificate of occupancy no later than August 31st, 2021, and authorize the town manager to execute.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Stinson, second by Bowen. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Okay, at this,
Sorry.
yes ma'am.
Do we also need to authorize the extension of the interior work?
All of it.
I would just say just allow.
Amend it to basically say they need a certificate of occupancy by
Next one.
August 31.
Yeah, I think we're just broadening it and.
Okay.
Do we need a second to that?
No, I think what Aaron was just explaining that what we were amending the agreement as.
All work on the house, including exterior work and certificate of occupancy. I guess what she's getting at, I guess you could occupy it, but the exterior work is still remaining to be done, but they can still get a CO, I see what you're saying now.
Well, if
Okay,
it's a certificate for occupancy, it's everything has to be done.
well,
Not really.
not necessarily, yeah. Okay, so is there another motion to authorize amending the agreement to extend the date of the exterior work with JG Development and authorize the town manager to execute?
So moved.
Motion,
Second.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, at this time, I will entertain a motion to authorize the town manager to execute the employment agreement with Alfredo Ferrer for the position of police chief.
I'll make a motion for, what did you just say? Repeat it.
Authorize the town
Authorize
manager
the town
to
manager
hire
to hire
right.
Alfredo Farrar.
Okay. Motion by Councilman Yates,
Second.
second by Councilman Bowen. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. If you want to go ahead and sign that, well, is there any other business before council tonight?
I would like to give a bit of good news.
Sure.
One of Larry Williamson's rotten properties at 406 East Tennessee Avenue was purchased by a contractor that specializes in renovating old homes. And he is in the process of renovating that home and bringing it back to its original state. I think it ought to be 406 East Tennessee, I think that would be exciting. So that's another house that's gonna be fixed in Crewe.
Okay. Very nice. I have no idea. Any other discussion? Okay, hearing none. Is there a motion on the floor?
Adjourn.
So, motion by Yates
Adjourn, to adjourn.
and second by Bowen. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Have a Merry Christmas.